Hey guys, in today's video, I had a couple of calls that I was going to put together, and I'm going to put this one together because it's kind of a conundrum. I'm not real sure what happened. I know that sounds strange to say, but I got a call at this business because the air conditioning failed over the weekend. They called somebody else. They came out and charged it up, and they actually called me yesterday. Today is Tuesday. Yesterday was Monday, and they called and said, hey, I know we called somebody else to charge it up, but it ain't cooling. Can you come out and look at it? So I go out today. I was backed up yesterday. I go out today to see what in the world is going on. I was just recently at this property doing a preventive maintenance probably about a month ago. So I was surprised that it was out of Freon. It needed charging up. Didn't make any sense. Here's that call. Still don't make any sense. We are here, and this is a 7.5 ton gas pack. I just put a few screws back in it. Let me see if I can show you what I saw. All of this is a little bit shiny. If you look at this compressor, it kind of looks wet, like through here. I think we got us a leak somewhere from here to maybe here, right here on this compressor. So my ports are right here. I'm going to open that up, pressurize, and do some bubble searching. Like right here, that is just covered in oil. And see if we can't, I mean, it might even, we'll find it. Stay tuned. This up here, forgive the bug, but all this up here is covered in oil, which makes me think whatever happened while that was running, and it blew the oil out the top. Oh. I hope I got some pressure in my nitrogen. Let me get to that. I've got 360 psi standing pressure. What in the world? Make sure everything is valved off here. I'm sorry, that's hard for y'all to see. I'm just not. It's also a little difficult to do. All right, I just heard it pressurize. $360 and $247. Okay, I have a flashing 29 code. That might be something I can look up. Not right here. Here we go, 2.9. Refrigerant high pressure switch open, circuit 1. That's going to be this. I am fairly certain that now we know it's overcharged. This is going to be my low pressure switch. I'm still getting a 2.9 code. This pressure is not that high. I mean, it's too high for something that's not running, but that right there is I got a plan. I have these closed off, so I'm gonna purge the line a little bit. I just want to make sure there's no air in the line, and then what I'm gonna do is open these up so that this head pressure drops. Wow. Are y'all seeing those pressures? Y'all forgive me, it is extremely hot right now. I still have the same code. I am still equalizing. All right, I'm gonna get a recovery tank and some things I need so that I can easily bypass this if I need to until things are correct. I have a flashing 2.9. I'm going to reset power. Okay, we have reset and we have a call for cooling. What I'm going to get ready to do is recover refrigerant. This is an empty drum with a vacuum on it. Make sure that's turned off. Right now I want to make sure everything's turned off. Open that. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and open this one up. Make sure that's turned off. In just a second, when this comes on, we may have to recover a little bit. Okay, I'm waiting on this to come on. I'm pretty sure we have a TXV over there. At this point, I'm not real sure why it was charged. I don't know for sure that it's got a leak somewhere. But we're gonna crank it up, and right now we're waiting on our time delay. When that's over, this thing's gonna crank up and we're gonna see what it's doing. Okay, I'm not exactly 100% certain what happened before I got here, but the little bit of refrigerant that I recovered, I ended up putting back in the system once I had this panel on, and now it looks like my pressures are kind of low. I have 0 subcooling, 22 degrees superheat. I will say I've had a little bit of lack of confidence in my liquid line temperature probe. So that subcooling may be off. In fact, I'm going to check it with another probe just to see if those temperatures align. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, that other probe is reading 102.6. That's reading 102.7. So maybe we're good on the temperature probe. I'm gonna turn off this pressure real quick. I'm going to let this, what's in my hoses, get out, because I may need to zero my manifold. Okay, so when you turn it on, it kind of zeros. Alright, that's 0 and 0. I think we're good. Okay, so turn these back on. I'm just trying to check and make sure I've got decent readings. My superheat is dropping. I guarantee you it's getting cool in there. That subcooling is a little bit bothersome though. I should not have a negative subcooling. And it is really hot in there. So I need to pay attention to that. I'm just reluctant to do anything because of what we've just gone through. Let's charge it just a little bit. Let's see if we can get this subcooling up a little more. Now remember, when I put my gauges on it, my head pressure was at 360 and it was not even running. Okay, my superheat just went to 3 degrees. My subcooling is still in the negative. There are times you can blow a little bit of refrigerant back in those tanks. That one's not going to let me do it. So in the end, I basically told the customer, hey, please keep an eye on it. If something happens again, if, for example, a condenser fan motor failed or something, please call me and I'll try to respond as quickly as I can. But you probably should not call whoever came out, because I'm not sure they did you any good, or I don't know. I don't know what happened, what caused it to lock out like that. If I wasn't the first person they called, it's hard to tell. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, how about like and subscribe? And Riley and I will catch you on the next one.